All right, let's talk AI. It's not just some future tech buzzword anymore. It's a real tool that is fundamentally changing how accounting firms operate. So in the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all the hype and give you a practical guide on how you can use AI to shift from those repetitive manual tasks to providing real, high-value advisory services.
So, how are we going to get there? Well, we've laid out a pretty clear roadmap. First, we'll talk about why AI is your new competitive edge. Then, we're going to demystify the tech itself. No jargon, I promise. After that, we'll get into the practical stuff, unlocking productivity, navigating the risks and compliance issues, and we'll finish up with a simple playbook you can actually start using today. Let's jump in.
First up, AI as your new competitive edge. You know, the game is really changing. It's all about moving beyond the grind of manual tasks and into that high-value advisory space where your clients really need you.
So let me just ask you this, and be honest. Are you spending more time on those repetitive, grinded-out tasks than on giving strategic advice to your clients? If you even hesitated for a second, then you're definitely in the right place. AI is the tool that can help you flip that ratio on its head. But here's the thing. To really leverage a tool, you've got to understand it. So let's demystify AI. We're going to break down the technology that's already reshaping our profession and hopefully make it feel a lot less like magic and more like just another manageable, powerful part of your firm's toolkit.
Okay, let's start by just cutting through the noise. The biggest myth out there, that AI is here to replace you. The reality is, it's here to augment and accelerate what you do. It doesn't get rid of your professional judgment, it supports it. And this last one is absolutely crucial. AI is not always accurate. Your oversight isn't just a good idea. It is essential. It is required.
So what exactly is AI when we strip it all down? You can just think of it as a computer system that's been trained to think and learn a bit like a human does. Its goal is to perform a specific task, and to do it as well as, or even better than, a person could by learning from tons of data and applying rules. Now, the first type you'll probably run into is machine learning, or ML. This is an AI that learns from data to spot patterns and make predictions. But here's the key. It does it without you having to explicitly program every single rule. A perfect example is your tax software flagging an unusual expense pattern that might catch the IRS's eye. It wasn't told what's weird. It learned what's weird from all the data it's seen.
Now, if you take that idea and just crank it up to 11, you get deep learning. It's a specialized part of machine learning that uses these really complex layered things called neural networks. It's designed to process massive amounts of messy, unstructured data. We're talking images, text, you name it. It's incredibly powerful stuff.
And of course, that brings us to the one everybody's talking about right now, generative AI or Gen AI. This is the AI that actually creates new content for you. Think of using a tool like ChatGPT to draft a client summary about a brand new tax law. It's not just finding information for you, it's generating a first draft from scratch.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get to the good part, the payoff. Now we're going to talk about unlocking your firm's productivity by looking at some real, tangible benefits and practical use cases you could put into practice right away.
So what kind of impact are we really talking about? How does a 25 to 40% reduction in the time you spend on repetitive workflows sound? I mean, just pause and think about that. What could your firm do with almost half that time back? That's a game changer.
So where can you actually apply this? Well, just think about your daily grind. For tax work, it can help you summarize code sections and find authorities way faster. For bookkeeping, it can automate all that tedious receipt and invoice data entry. In an audit, it can be a superstar, using pattern detection to spot high-risk transactions or potential fraud. It can even help you draft responses to common client questions. These aren't futuristic ideas. This stuff is happening right now.
Now, with all of that incredible potential, we have to be smart about it. We have to talk about the other side of the coin. So let's dive into navigating the risks and the compliance issues, because this is all about protecting your firm, your clients, and frankly, your professional integrity.
A really key concept you need to get your head around is the black box problem. Some of these really complex AI models make it almost impossible to see how they got to an answer. And that, as you can imagine, creates huge challenges for our audit trails and for being able to explain our work, which is pretty fundamental to being a CPA.
So how do we manage these risks? With specific, deliberate controls. For data privacy, that means things like strong encryption and strictly following IRS guidelines like Publication 4557. To avoid relying too much on the AI,
you have to build in mandatory human review checkpoints. When you're looking at vendors, you need to see certifications like SOC 2 or ISO 27001. That's non-negotiable. And to handle liability, update your engagement letters and keep a pristine audit trail of all AI-assisted work.
All right, you understand the technology, you see the benefits, and you're aware of the risks. So now what? Let's put it all together into a practical implementation playbook. This is your simple, low-risk roadmap to actually getting started.
And look, this doesn't have to be some massive, overwhelming project. It's a simple 4-step process. Number 1, start small. Please don't try to boil the ocean. Just pilot one simple workflow, maybe document intake. 2, define what success looks like. Set clear metrics, like time saved or accuracy improvements. 3, govern and review. Assign clear rules for who's testing and who's overseeing this. And finally, number 4, learn and scale. Figure out what worked, what didn't, refine it, and then expand it.
And when you're choosing a partner for this, here are the absolute must-ask questions. On security, are you SOC 2 certified? Simple yes or no. On data, where is my client's data actually being stored and processed? You need to know. On explainability, if the IRS challenges this output, can you justify how the model got there? And finally, on compliance, do your policies and your SLAs actually align with my professional duties under Circular 230? You need clear, confident answers to all of these before you move forward.
You know, this quote from the Journal of Accountancy just sums it all up perfectly. It says, rather than replacing accountants, AI acts as a collaborative tool. And here's the key phrase. It's the experienced professionals who interpret AI strategically that are going to see the biggest wins. That's you.
So let's bring it all home. What can you do tomorrow? Here are your practical next steps. 1. Start small. Pick one repetitive thing to pilot. 2. Train your team. Focus on what they need to know for their role and when to raise a hand for help. 3. Evaluate those vendors using that checklist. 4. Measure your return on investment. Track the time saved, track accuracy. And 5. Always stay compliant. Review your engagement letters and maintain those bulletproof, audit-ready logs.
We've covered a lot of ground, but the message is really clear. AI is not coming, it's here. It is already reshaping the accounting profession. So the only question left is, are you ready to lead that change in your firm?